Today on the Morning Edition, with the clock ticking down on a rapidly approaching midnight deadline, Governor Dunleavy vetoes several bills passed during the legislative session. We'll show you which bills were signed and which got the X. Plus, eyes on the interior with the Pearl Creek Charter School as the case continues to push lines and blur barriers. We'll tell you where the case may go next. And later, firefighters are heroes. There's very little argument that says otherwise. We have a special look inside a unique rescue of 4 feline friends. All of this and more as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Friday morning, everyone. We made it to the end of the week, and it's been a nice week with a lot of sunshine.
And those temperatures are just going to continue to get warmer as we head through the close of this week and welcome in the weekend. Beautiful shot out towards Lake Hood this morning. Now, we do have partly cloudy skies across South Central, but we're going to hold on to ample sunshine opportunities as we head through the next couple of days. But one thing to keep in mind as these temperatures continue to warm is that thunderstorm activity that will fire across parts of South Central. We've also got some red flag conditions that go in effect as we welcome in the weekend. Temperatures are fairly warm this morning at 54 degrees with winds out of the south-southeast at 7 miles per hour. We are going to see those temperatures jump about 20 degrees into the afternoon. We will see parts of South Central, thinking more so north of Wasilla, where we're going to see that best shot of temperatures making a run near 80 degrees today. You can see many areas, though, sitting in the 40s and the 50s, still holding on to some of that cloud coverage as you head through Prince William Sound as well as out towards Seward. In fact, if you are out towards Seward, you're largely going to hold on to this cloud coverage for a good portion of the day. But even then, those temperatures will still warm as we head throughout the rest of your Friday. And we're sitting at about 5+ degrees warmer than this time yesterday morning. And these temperatures will continue to steadily warm leading up to the official start of the astronomical summer, which does start Sunday for Father's Day. So we're going to continue to see those temperatures warming into the 70s. And again, an outside chance we'll see some 80s through parts of northern parts of the Susitna Valley. Here across Anchorage, we are going to see those temperatures topping out right around 70 across West Anchorage. East Anchorage, we'll see those temperatures anywhere from about 73 to 75 degrees as we head into the afternoon hours. Now, coming up in my full forecast, we do have a critical fire danger across the state as those temperatures continue to warm and that thunderstorm activity increases as well. Saturday could be a stormy day, particularly in the interior. I'll have more on that in that 7-day forecast coming up.
Governor Mike Dunleavy vetoed 9 bills that were passed during the legislative session. He faced a midnight deadline to act on 24 of them. Dunleavy had to either sign, veto, or allow each to become law without his signature. Here's what he rejected. One would have renamed the State Commission for Human Rights. Another would have established new rights for minors undergoing treatment or evaluations at psychiatric hospitals. One bill would have changed the title of physician's assistant to physician associate. Alaska's participation in the multi-state tax compact would have been updated. That's not happening. And the sunset date of the State Board of Architects, Engineers, and Land Surveyors would have been updated. As for Senate bills, he vetoed a bill to create a state-administered retirement savings program through the Department of Revenue, plus one that would have raised the minimum age to buy tobacco, nicotine, or electronic smoking products. Mental health education in Alaska public schools would have been required if SB 41 was not vetoed. And finally, a bill that would have set new rules governing state contracts for the licensing of software applications. Get an in-depth explanation of all of these on our website. This all comes as Dunleavy says he'll call for a special session if the Senate runs out of time at midnight tonight. He says he wants the gas line project to move forward with the tax reform bill passed. Alaska's news source talked to Alaska Beacon political reporter James Brooks about the latest developments in the special session and that natural gas pipeline bill.
We know that over the past 50 years, the state has spent over $1 billion on various efforts to build a natural gas pipeline. And plenty of the people in the Senate remember a lot of those, remember past promises that didn't come through. And so what they want generally is more guarantees of security for the state, more assurances that the state is not going to pay out a lot of money for no pipeline again. And that's what we're seeing is that the House passed one deal and the Senate is looking for a shorter tax break.
You can find that extended interview on our streaming platforms and website. The Matsu Borough has released results from an independent investigation saying its own animal control division, quote, failed at nearly every level months before 23 dogs were found dead at a licensed Willow kennel. The report looked into the borough's handling of the case. They say many factors led to things falling between the cracks, like supervisory gaps, inconsistent policy enforcement, and undertrained officers. The report says there was also no formal system for receiving complaints. Read the full report right now on our website. Anchorage police released the name of a man accused of shooting 2 officers at the Diamond Walmart. Police say it started as a retail theft call on Old Seward Highway, but turned violent within moments. Walmart Loss Prevention reported a man in custody for retail theft. That person was identified as 33-year-old DeAndre Robertson. When officers moved to take him into custody, he tried to flee, and that led to a struggle. Police say Robertson pulled a concealed handgun and fired. One officer was hit twice in the lower body. Another was hit in the chest, but the bullet was stopped by a bulletproof vest.
This went from a simple misdemeanor arrest to a very violent act at the snap of a finger in close quarters.
It's now the 5th officer-involved shooting in Anchorage this year. An Anchorage man is facing murder charges after the state said he killed his wife in 2023. Georgina Fernandez was back in court Thursday and tells us the latest in our continuing coverage of this case.
This is the first reaction we've seen from Zarias Hildebrand.
Doesn't post pics / take pics. Doesn't act the same about us. Ex hardly calls me pretty, is less lovey-dovey.
This face, as the state presents a note log found on his 21-year-old wife, Soraya Hildebrand's phone from April 2023, as an Anchorage Police Department detective read those messages.
I have constant thoughts of you cheating on me. Example, texting other girls.
Again, you don't know necessarily who wrote it.
Correct.
You don't know why they wrote it.
No, I guess I don't know their reasonings for writing the notes.
Hildebrand is facing murder charges after the state said he killed Soraya on August 6, 2023, around 2:45 a.m. He later reported her missing and assisted in her search efforts.
And it says, I'll fly you out in the summer.
On Thursday, the state showed the jury photos found on Soraya's phone, including screenshots of conversations and explicit photos shared between Hildebrand and another person.
You just look so good in it. I love it. But the first or third one is the only acceptable way to walk around my house.
Those screenshots saved on Soraya's phone at 2:18 a.m. on August 6th, roughly half an hour before APD received a call of shots fired. The state also broke down Hildebrand's cell phone records.
Throughout your review of the Cellbrite and this exhibit, were there multiple searches for gun stores or guns in general on the defendant's phone? Yes.
Including searching for OnlyFans, pornographic websites, and a strip club after Soraya's death.
So to be clear, does that mean on August 6, 2023 at 8:32 a.m., the defendant not only Googled Alaska Bush Company, but actually went to their website and homepage? Correct.
The defense pushing back.
We don't necessarily know who at what time was using a cell phone. We just know that from these reports that this is information the cell phone has collected, correct?
Correct.
As it continues to hold a steady argument that Soraya died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and Hildebrand's behavior following her death was a result of a scared man. Georgina Fernandez, Alaska's news source.
The state also presented evidence of phone records showing a search result on Hildebrand's phone for Mount Baldy and also a park near where Soraya's body was found. Fairbanks police want help finding a suspect from a June 9th shooting near 15th Avenue and Stacia Street. They say 25-year-old Devontae Beatus Nelson has now been identified as that suspect. Police say around 6:30 on the night of the shooting, it got a report of 2 men fighting what appeared to be a gunshot and then someone running away. FPD says he is thought to be armed and dangerous, and you should not approach or try to contact him. He's being charged with assault and misconduct involving weapons. A major update on a charter school case being watched statewide for what precedent it could set on who has the final say over charter school approvals and controls funding. A state attorney and Fairbanks Charter School Group have now asked the Alaska Supreme Court to reverse a Fairbanks Superior Court judge's ruling Thursday, blocking the immediate opening of Pearl Creek STEAM Charter School. The petition comes after a judge denied a request to force the Fairbanks North Star Borough School District to open the school this fall. The judge found the roughly $2 million cost to the district was too significant and the legal questions too unsettled to act.
Can we deny a charter application because of impacts to the budget? If the state's assertion to that is no, then I don't think school boards actually have control over their budget.
So my optimism, not being a lawyer, is like statute's written, if the district wants to change that or the school board wants to change that, that should be brought before the legislature. Right now, we should be following our current state statutes.
We're watching to see if the Alaska Supreme Court will take up the case. Fairbanks Borough Assembly vote on leasing the proposed school building is set for July 1st. More coverage is on our website. Still ahead today on the Morning Edition, many have summited the Great One this climbing season, but one person who made it up to the highest point on the continent was nearly saving the tallest for last. So we'll share the story and how this climb was a little more special.
Thunderstorm activity set to increase as we welcome in the weekend. I'll have more on what that means when it comes to fire danger. But first at sunrise, 4:20 in Anchorage, 5:13 in Bethel. Your full forecast is next.
Welcome back on this Friday morning with a little bit of a different perspective there. Nice stream in the Tongass National Forest. Aaron, looking nice and green and summery.
Yeah, just a serene view there. And of course, we are waking up, more sunshine in the forecast. We're watching those temperatures continuing to steadily warm. Latest updates when it comes to that wildfire activity across the state. We're still watching that Grandview fire out towards Sterling, sitting at just over 7,500 acres that has burned so far this season. 51 active fires, of which 4 have been brand new over the last 24 hours. And we are watching that fire danger, which remains fairly high as we welcome in today and on into the weekend. In fact, when it comes to that fire danger, you can see a good portion of the interior up under that fire weather watch. We've got a red flag warning for parts of the valley that goes into effect this morning or this afternoon on into the overnight hours. We're going to be talking about that critical fire weather conditions as those high temps and thunderstorm activity will steadily build in. We've also got a heat advisory that has been issued for parts of the interior. You can see that right there in that orangish color. That is for where we're expecting temperatures to top out at or above 85 degrees. Now, this is typical weather for this time of year during the month of June. These heat advisories are just kind of a new alert to let people know, specifically those who tend to be a little bit more prone to heat illnesses or tourists, to let them know, hey, it's going to be a hot one today, because 80s in Alaska certainly feels a lot hotter than what we see in the lower 48. We are seeing those temperatures over the last 24 hours continuing to warm across a good portion of the state. 8 degrees warmer in Wasilla, 4 degrees warmer in Utqiagvik, 7 degrees warmer in Dead Horse. Parts of the slope may actually top out along the coast in the 50s and possibly near 60 degrees as we head later into the afternoon hours. We're also going to be watching some of that thunderstorm activity, which will likely occur through parts of the Brooks Range. As far as this morning, though, not much going on across the state. We've still got that upper level low out towards southwest Alaska. That is keeping some light rain showers around, as well as some cloudier conditions that will persist throughout the day, or at least the cloud coverage will, which will keep temperatures a hair degree cooler than surrounding locations. But you're still expected to see those temperatures warming into the 60s. The warmest conditions, though, will be through the interior today on through at least Sunday. We're going to see a 3-day stretch where those temperatures will warm into the 80s. We're also going to be watching parts of the northern parts of the Susitna Valley where we could see some of those 80-degree readings today and into the weekend. So warm conditions taking hold across the state as we continue to see this warm weather building in, the warmest of the season as we head through the rest of your Friday. 75 in McGrath today, 81 degrees in Fairbanks, 70 in Anchorage. You can see along the slope, 52 in Utqiagvik. We may make a run near 60 as you head out towards Dead Horse. So those temperatures continue to steadily warm across the state. And of course, that is going to lead to that thunderstorm activity. Now, as we head through the final few days of June, you can see that warm conditions likely will persist for the interior north towards the slope, while cloudier coverage as well as rain showers will likely keep temperatures a hair degree cooler across the immediate coast. Outside of that, we are going to continue to favor many areas holding on to those temperatures in the 60s and the 70s. We'll flirt with 70 across many areas of South Central through at least Monday, and then we kind of briefly cool off into the mid to upper 60s. But if you have any Juneteenth celebrations today, Kristen, getting outdoors, just make sure you carry that your sunglasses, hydrate. It's going to be a warm one today.
Good advice. All right. Thanks, Aaron. Climbing season in Denali State Park is nearing its end. Among the many mountaineers that reached the summit, one of them achieved a personal record. As Joe Allgood shows us, it was inspired by her family.
They summited at 7:45 last night. It was her 50th high point of the United States, so she's been working on it to get high points in every state. This was her final one, so she's pretty excited.
Raisa D'Antonio got that text from her niece Bailey on Thursday morning. To celebrate the milestone, she said Bailey ate a chocolate bar that she sent with her.
She said she didn't break her teeth, even though it was pretty frozen.
In their family, the feat is practically a tradition at this point.
Her mom had done the 50 high points, and my brother has done a lot of them. My younger sister also has done almost all of them. And so I think she finds that very motivational.
And for most, summiting all 50 high points would be enough, along with the tallest mountain on the continent. Not for Bailey.
So Bailey flew up on Saturday before they went out, like May 30th or something. That morning, she was in Fargo running a marathon.
Oh my gosh. After running a marathon in 48 states, Bailey is hoping to check the last two off her list.
Marathons, I don't know. We don't have other people who run marathons in our family, so I have no idea. We're pretty outdoorsy, but not that kind of. It's pretty amazing.
Raisa lives in Alaska, but hasn't climbed the Great One herself. But she's come close.
She's wearing my jacket that has been up Denali now 4 times, I think. Never on me.
Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
We reached out to Bailey as well about her accomplishment, but as one might expect, she was still a bit outside of cell phone range at the moment. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.